thank you so much for coming to have a party with us, basically, right? It's we have food, snacks, all the chips you can eat, so thank you so much for joining us. I have a little bit of speech prepared, but I'll be quick with it because I think, it was an early, I'm not a morning person, right? So I'm like, I had to drink a big cup of coffee to get up here to make the speech. But irregardless, I think today marks kind of like a symbolic milestone for us here at Coins. I view it as a new chapter in our journey. It has been a really long journey, and a lot of people here in the room, like Amor and Mark, have actually been with us since the founding of Coins in 2014, including some of our employees as well. But thank you so much, for everyone that showed up today. To all our partners, for all the media that showed up to sort of to celebrate this occasion. I want to just give a couple of shout outs, won't be long. Mr. Kelvin Lee, thank you so much for coming. And then thank you. And then our partners from XTC, Chen Sanlong and Rebecca, thank you so much for coming. And then Lisa Lou Castro and Sabato of Power One, thank you for coming. And then all the Web3 Association trustees, Kathy, Ash, Nathan, and Corporate Treasury Mark. As well as I mentioned, Amor from Digital Filipinas and Brad, and then also our lawyer friend Mark, and then our new lawyer friends Nate and Mike. Thank you guys for coming as well. So I think just a couple of points I want to touch on, because I think the journey of Coins parallel the journey of fintech and digital assets here in the Philippines. So Coins was founded in 2014 initially as an e-wallet, and what's really funny is so I had known about Coins since about 2018, 19-ish, when I was working at Binance. But then, sort of after sort of taking over as CEO of Coins last year, I actually really looked into sort of the history of Coins. So what's really funny, there's an inside joke here. I think we don't have any enemies. I'm just kidding. So the original founder of Coins, Ron Hose, I think a lot of you guys here who've been in the industry for a long time kind of know. He's not from here, but he was actually a homegrown entrepreneur. And then he had probably one of the first, and to my mind, the biggest exit for a startup here, for a fintech startup here in the Philippines. And to a lot of people in the industry, he's kind of like a hero, right? Just because the country hasn't really had its own sort of homegrown entrepreneurs. So I also wanted to sort of give a shout out to Ron. I think we invited him. Anyhow. But so I do really want to give shout out to Ron for really founding this business, right? But the second big thing that was kind of interesting is that when Coins first started, the goal was to basically put your wallet in your phone, right? And that's not originally envisioned. Wasn't just crypto assets. It wasn't digital assets. It was actually an e-wallet at first. And guys from Smart and Globe both were early investors in Coins. And Ron has a story that he tells people that Gcash stole his cars. But anyhow, that's sort of like I would say all in the past. And some of the things that I kind of want to touch on is sort of like what we're looking forward to. So one of the things that when I took over Coins, I think in last year, I think we faced a lot of challenge and a lot of obstacles. And for example, we had a pretty significant development team that are actually Russians. So we basically had the Russian-Ukraine conflict. And what we did was actually, we did the nice thing. We actually flew about 30 or 40 guys. We relocated them here to the Philippines to basically so they don't have to get drafted and to get involved in the conflict. That's a real story, right? And then parallel, we had a development team and a product team in Shanghai, and then basically they were locked down in their home. They couldn't leave for 3 months. And sort of, for me, I came here last summer, basically, didn't really know that many people here in the industry. So I was really sort of, that's why I want to give thanks to everyone here, is because I think without your friendship, I think without your care, without you, wanting to listen to me blabber about things, like we would not have sort of the network and the presence here today. So that's why I think one of the things that I really want to do is basically really give thanks, I think, to everyone that has sort of really helped me personally and helped Coins, the new management team of Coins, to sort of, I would say, revive the business after 2 years of dormancy under the Gojek's ownership and management. So, but okay, so that's enough about the past. Let's talk about the future, right? I think digital asset is a fast and rapid moving industry, and it's not going to stop, right? It's not going to stop for me. It's not going to stop for you. It's not going to stop for laws. It's not going to stop. It doesn't really care. Basically, technology just marches on. And so all we can have to do here at Coins is basically how do we embrace this trend and translate that into basically growth. Growth for me, growth for the company, and I think growth for the country. And I think then that comes back to sort of, the original sort of ethos, I think, of digital currency, of virtual assets or digital assets, whatever you want to call it, is basically the ability to move things of value, right? Like one comparison that I kind of, that I've been making a little bit recently is, has to do sort of like, how we used to make telephone calls back in the 80s. If you're making international calls, you have to go through an operator. Right? And then if you're calling from the Philippines, the Philippine operator has to reach out to a U.S. operator, and the U.S. operator basically puts that call through. That's kind of how money works today. So if you want to move money across borders, you basically, the local bank has to talk to an international organization, probably SWIFT, and then move that money to the corresponding country, and then that money gets dropped off locally. And I think that's something that, with the infrastructure and technology, all the broadband connections, all the 5G connections, I think information, like for example, text messages initially, and now videos, and now more so, I think even just computations, like all of that stuff can be moved digitally instantly around the world now. And then we can basically get things on demand, right? For example, before when you watch TV, you have to watch it at like 8 p.m., right? The show that you want to watch. Now you can watch it anytime you want. And that's kind of true for money as well. And I think, and that's something that the traditional financial ecosystem, I think, isn't really equipped to build, because they're built on old technology. And blockchain is the new technology that I think new applications of money will be built on. And that's something that I think we're at the forefront of. Not just here at Coins, but actually Philippines. Because we have a massive amount of money that moves into the country annually in the form of remittance. At the same time, what we saw in 2021, we actually have a massive adoption of people that actually want to try and actually produce with digital assets in terms of playing games, right? I think, remittance games, those are basically the two initial, I would say, applications of blockchain that we can look, see, touch, and feel. But I think there's going to be more and more of those applications going forward. And what we really want to build Coins to be is we want to bring that in a regulated, safe, and secure, and efficient fashion. And best of all, cheap, right? Because I think all of that will encourage more people to basically, to handle your money the way you want to, right? You don't have to be restricted in terms of when and where and how you access your money, because at the end of the day, it's your money, right? So I think that's something that we really hope to do. And I'll speak a little bit about some of the products we have here. So yep. So I think so sort of for us over the last 12, since the beginning of the year, basically, we've been non-stop in terms of releasing products and features on for Coins. The biggest product we built is actually our coins.ph exchange. And that, I believe, is basically, I mean, I'm not boasting here because I kind of am, but it's basically the best-in-class exchange technology. It's a matching engine that rivals basically some of the top ones in the world. And that matching engine exists here locally in the Philippines. And that's something that we will be promoting in terms of getting more and more, not just retail users, but actually more institutions to come and use. Because through this matching engine, we actually build our liquidity, like here locally, right, in our local currency, instead of basically, moving that liquidity outside of the country. And it's really, really important to have that liquidity here, right? The ability to access digital assets with the pesos, because that means the money actually and the assets stays in the country, right? And that is something that we look to do, I think, with all of the partners that we've provided, with all the financial service providers, I think eventually as well with all of the other commercial enterprises as well. Because there's going to be use cases that's going to be developed on blockchain and hopefully, with partnership with Coins that, that people haven't really seen before. And I think the other big product that we use is basically we've added a Web3 wallet natively in Coins, so that in the future, when there's games coming out, mainly and other decentralized applications coming out, you can actually access that natively within the Coins app. And and I think that's pretty important, because I think the way applications are being used and deployed is that before, right, you're logging in with your Google or Facebook account, but I think going in the future, you're actually going to be logging in with your wallet, such that because then I think you can, like I mentioned before, you can basically get access into the applications that have been built with. Sorry, going back to my notes. All right, coming to an end. Two more points. So I think the other big one that I really want to announce is actually with regards to our affiliate network. I think we realize the importance that creators play, especially in terms of education. And I think that's something that everyone has sort of come to talk to me about, or talk to a lot of our people about, is that, hey, we're really excited about crypto, we're really excited about Web3, but what the heck is it? How do I play around with it? How do I use it? How do I learn about it? Right? And I think we have started our affiliate program to work with creators, I think here in the country and in other jurisdictions, to actually bring real education and to give, I think, people real tools to learn about crypto. And I think lastly, I think looking to the future, again, we're very excited to bring Coins, I think, which is, I think, a very uniquely local startup here in the Philippines, I think, to a global stage. As many of you know, we've actually had an operation in Thailand, for about 5 or 6 years in coins.ph. And we're activating that in terms of putting the technology that we have actually developed here and rolling that out, I think, for the services in Thailand, which is another licensed exchange. And at the end of the day, I think we are, at the same time, in addition to Thailand, we're actually working in about 4 or 5 other jurisdictions in Latin America, in other regions in Asia, in Africa, and in Australia, and potentially in Europe, in terms of securing licenses. Because one of the sort of the ongoing trend that I see is that I think licensed and compliant operations that are rooted locally, hire people locally, pay taxes locally, have local compliant programs are going to be how we should be operating in this industry. So what we hope to do is actually, take a lot of the products that we develop and build use cases and get traction for here in the Philippines. We're actually going to roll that out in other jurisdictions. And uniquely, I think we want to build Coins from a Filipino startup to a startup that actually has, global presence. And we want to be the first Filipino startup to be able to do that. So yeah. So again, thank you very much to all of our partners. Thank you very much to my employees and my management team. You guys put in a lot of hard work. And then thank you guys for putting the trust in me, right, in terms of joining Coins over the last, and putting the trust in the new ownership and the new management to stay at Coins, and for all the partners to actually to conduct new business and continuing old business with Coins. So again, for everyone here at Coins, thank you very much for coming to our celebration, and enjoy all the drinks and all the chips.